We're obviously at the flashpoint of one of the big protests, which is the Britannia Hotel. I mean, what do you think this place reflects about what's going on in the country and what could be going on over the next month with more protests?
Here's Lee Anderson talking to someone from the Daily Express. So what will three-party 30p Lee say?
Any young male over the channel in a migrant camp, I'll be thinking to myself, it doesn't matter where I'm from, what I've done in the past, I could be a wrong'un, some of them are. Doesn't matter, because within 24 hours I could be in a place like this, 4-star luxury, 3 meals a day, Wi-Fi, and free to roam the streets of Tower Hamlets and Canary Wharf and pretty much do whatever you want.
The irony of this is that Lee was a member of the Conservatives, the party who began paying the owner of that hotel, Alex Langsom, millions of pounds to house asylum seekers. But I can't remember Lee talking about asylum hotels then.
What are some of the things that you're hearing about the people that have come down to protest about this place?
They're rightly concerned about their daughters, about themselves, about women and girls who we know, Zach, let's be honest, we see it in the papers every single week that an asylum seeker has been either charged or found guilty of attacking a woman.
Sounds bad, but to add context, statistics show that every week more than one woman is likely to be sexually assaulted by a police officer.
Some of these crimes they're committing against our young women and girls, and not all women, are quite frankly, disgusting. And, what have we done as a nation? We've invited these people in, rapists, murderers, potential terrorists, wrong-uns. We've invited them in this country and put them into places like this.
Lee now isn't even bothering to hold back his hateful rhetoric and is now intimating that every asylum seeker housed is a potential threat. Again, he was in the party that gave contracts to the person who houses the asylum seekers inside. But look at this. Under Labour, hotel spending on asylum seekers has fallen from 8.3 million to 5.77 million pounds a day. That's almost a saving of £1 billion a year.
Doors open. If you're a criminal, come to Britain and continue committing your crimes. Imagine, I would imagine that most people working in and living in Tower Hamlets don't earn £41,000 a year. They're struggling, they're getting up in the morning, putting a shift in. I mean, look at some of these apartments around here. I know for a fact that some of the people in these apartments are paying £3,500, £4 grand a month rent. It doesn't matter, come over on a boat, be a criminal, be a rapist, be a murderer, we'll stick you in 4-star luxury, and guess what, you can continue your crimes, because we haven't got the foggiest who you are.
What, does Lee think that it will be a 4-star hotel service for these asylum seekers? They're converting the hotel to house multiple asylum seekers who won't be able to ring for room service for a bottle of champagne and caviar. Anyway.
And the people who was out demonstrating, a lot of them, women in the 60s and 70s, and they were coming up to me a few days later and saying, Lee, am I far right? I said, no, you're just right. But they're labelled by Keir Starmer and the Labour Party as some sort of far-right lunatics. And
some are concerned citizens, but it's true that there are some far-right idiots who are there to stir trouble. I suppose just like you, Lee, and, of course, other fascist groups. Anyway, listen to the way that Lee frames the Hope Not Hate group as troublemakers.
What we did see in Ashfield is protesters with the Hope Not Hate, the stand up against racism, placards, rent a mob. These were people that were spotted in Epping just a few days before, so they're travelling around the country, they're causing problems, and no, these people aren't far right at all. And this Keir Starmer, this Prime Minister, I will say this man, in my opinion, is evil. If you speak out, he'll put you in prison, and we've seen that with Lucy Connolly.
Click here for an update on Lee Anderson.